Now at 6, a budget blowout in Oregon's biggest school district.
The sky isn't just falling, right? It has fell.
What hundreds more potential cuts in the works could mean for your children's classrooms. Plus,
when we go over there and he'll say, "Dopty, it's gone."
The empty spaces left behind after a bronze bandit targeted a playground.
then thieves target a Portland garden center and on video just days before its busiest weekend.
They're in here for less than 5 minutes.
It's the calm before the storm in the Emerald City. The Portland Fire taking the court for the first time in more than 2 decades.
Practicing against the guys is one thing, but when you're out there in real time, it's different.
But first, here at 6, we are just about 30 minutes away from seeing the Portland Fire take to the court for the first time in a preseason game against the Seattle Storm. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Moko. It is a new era in the making, and more than 20 years after the Fire first came to the Rose City. Let's get right to Orlando Sanchez live courtside at Climate Pledge Arena. Lucky guy, Orlando, it's going to be a huge night.
Absolutely, David, and I cannot argue with you. I've got the best seats in the house right now. The opportunity to see the Portland Fire take the court for the first time in more than 2 decades. When the franchise folded back in 2002, the team has been warming up here inside Climate Pledge Arena, getting ready for a reignited rivalry against the Seattle Storm. It has been a whirlwind for the Fire. This team didn't have players earlier this month. After 2 drafts, free agency, and a week and a half for training camp, the Fire, led by head coach Alex Sarama, will take the court for the first time today. And while the result of this preseason game doesn't count towards the record, there's plenty to take away from it.
Really just excited to see how we play offensively and defensively. I think it's going to be a very good experiment for us as a staff to try different lineups, to try different players in different positions.
I think it'll be good for us just to see where we are and go from there. And obviously just getting able to play together instead of 2 separate teams, just like we are in training camp. And so it'll be a lot of fun.
David, Christine, the common denominator or word most used this week has just been excitement. All of these players cannot wait to just get on the court and play against somebody else. They've been practicing for about a week and a half together, and now it's time to see what it looks like at this point. They've got an 18-player roster, but not all 18 players will play tonight, including star player Bridget Carlton, who is still overseas and will join this team soon enough. But we're getting closer to tip-off, less than an hour to go here inside Climate Pledge Arena. David.
I mean, the team is just coming together. You mentioned it played for what? They've known each other a couple weeks. What are you watching as the Fire works to go from essentially 0 to 60 overnight?
Yeah, it has been a total crash course in understanding head coach Alex Sarama's new system. All of them have acknowledged this has been different. One of the players even saying, I need to get some flashcards. I know you guys remember those days cramming for a test. That's how these players are. So I'm going to be looking to just see how cohesive they are. What type of chemistry do they have after a week and a half together? And ultimately, just what type of roles do these players take on? Who is going to be the alpha? Who is going to be the scorer? All those questions will not be answered tonight, but we'll get a better idea of what this team looks like after this game here. But bottom line, a bit of history here. WNBA fans in Portland have been waiting so long for this moment, and after more than 20 years, the Portland Fire will take the court once again. David, Christine?
What a night it will be. Orlando Sanchez reporting live from Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. Thank you, Orlando. Okay, so you might have heard Matt talking about hitting nearly 90 degrees potentially on Sunday. So if you're planning to cool down, maybe at a local lake or a river, remember that water is still dangerously cold. In fact, Tuesday afternoon at Hag Lake, a man's boat drifted from the dock, but when he jumped in to get it, the 58-degree water almost killed him. A nearby fisherman jumped in with a life preserver, and a boater also helped pull them both to safety. Washington County deputies say the man is okay, but it's a really good reminder that even on a warm day, the water temperature this time of year can be deadly.
Yeah, cold water shock, a real thing. Matt, a really good reminder for all of us considering the forecast here.
Yeah, that's going to be a threat right on through the weekend and into next week. Cold water shock, and with temperatures, the air warms up really fast, the water not so much, so definitely be aware of that. Salem is beautiful right now. It's 68 degrees down in our state capital. We made the 70s. We're running 8, 10, 12, 16 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. So big difference. Pretty much all of all of Oregon has warmed up compared to yesterday. Portland's high 71, Vancouver 72. Same in Scappoose, and leading the pack was the 76 over in the Dalles this afternoon. Now, you see a mainly clear sky, right? Except in eastern Oregon, some afternoon clouds building over the mountains, but those will be diminishing and dissipating and clearing out overnight tonight. And we've just got amazing weather on the way, up around 80 degrees tomorrow. If we do it, it'll be our first 80-degree day of the year. We had 79 twice in April so far, back early in the month, so not that big of an accomplishment. And then slight cooling for Friday and Saturday, and then the big warm-up on Sunday as we roll into the upper 80s. Don't think we'll see 90, but upper 80s, pretty good bet. There's also a chance of thunderstorms. I'll show you that a bit later, guys.
Wow, time to get those gardens planted. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, it is time.
Speaking of which, developing tonight, a Southeast Portland garden center is hoping someone recognizes who broke into their nursery this week and made off with a couple $1,000s worth of plants.
And all during their peak sales and planting season. Devin Haskins is live at Tony's Garden Center along Southeast Holgate with the details and that video. Devin?
Yeah, David and Christine, this was just yesterday morning around 5:45, and the security video shows that it took only about 5 minutes for them to get in and out with about $2,000 worth of plants. Let's show you some of that security video that the owners here at this garden center sent to us. You can see the two vehicles backed up to the front gate of their parking lot. They load up the pickup truck first with a couple dozen plants, then pull that away and back in a minivan. Owner Tony Karam says the group of three, wearing all black and masks over their face, were in and out within about 5 minutes, stealing about $2,000 worth of plants. And what makes things worse is this is their busy season, with Mother's Day right around the corner.
Honestly, it feels like someone broke in, just grabbed anything that was colorful so they can turn around and go either resell it or plant it in someone's yard to make some money. It was just really kind of violating more than anything, just seeing someone just willingly coming in and taking what they want.
Once the cars took off, they took off eastbound on Holgate here, Tony said, and they said they're hoping that somebody recognizes the cars or even the people that are in that video and involved in all this. They said they also did file a report with Portland Police. Back to you.
Hoping investigators get some leads on this. Devin Haskins reporting in Southeast Portland. Thank you, Devin.
In your headlines tonight, Home Forward CEO Ivory Matthews has resigned from her position after growing scrutiny over her spending on travel. It follows reports by Willamette Week saying Matthews spent more than $100,000 on agency-funded travel over the past 3 years. It includes a 6-day trip to Hawaii where Matthews reportedly could not produce proof of work-related activity. Home Forward is a federally funded public corporation that operates as a housing authority for much of the Portland area. Michael Buonacore, the interim director of the Portland Housing Bureau, will step in to run Home Forward, at least for now.
The Washington-based Cascadia Research Collective launched a new tool to keep track of gray whale deaths as concerns grow over the number of whales washing ashore, which could set a record. You can find this list on the research group's website. It includes information like when the whale washed ashore and also the general location. It'll be updated as researchers learn more. And you can also help. Just take a look at your screen. They ask anyone who sees a beached whale to call the Marine Mammal Stranding Hotline. The number there, 866-767-6114.
And Oregon State Police are asking for help finding a person they say illegally took eggs from a protected bird's nest. Authorities believe they were taken last June near the railroad trestle near Rivavilla Park in Milwaukee. The nest is protected under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act that makes it illegal to possess, sell, or purchase migratory bird eggs, with some exceptions there. Anyone with information is asked to call the Turn In Poachers tip line.
Now to an update today, and more pain on the way for Portland Public Schools as leaders announced proposed cuts as it faces a $50 million budget gap. John Adams joins us now live outside district offices. John, it doesn't stop here. There could be even more cuts on the way.
Christine, that's exactly right. This proposed budget for the upcoming school year has $56 million in cuts in it. But district leaders say the budget for the upcoming school year could have even more cuts than that. The situation, they say, is looking dire. So they're calling on state lawmakers to help out.
We're here because this is an emergency situation. The sky isn't just falling, right? It has fell.
On Wednesday morning, Portland public school leaders shared the grim reality the district is facing. Rising costs, limited revenue, and falling enrollment forcing the district to slash $56 million in its 26-27 proposed budget. More than 320 positions will be cut, including a 15% reduction in central office staff and services. Schools will see a budget reduction of 4%.
Anytime that we're reducing personnel, whether they're in the classroom or they're in central office, is devastating.
Superintendent Dr. Kimberly Armstrong also announcing the district will likely need to slash another $65 million from the 27-28 budget, meaning in a 3-year period, Oregon's largest district will have cut around $170 million.
There's no more fat to cut. I mean, we are literally beyond the meat, we're into the bone, and every cut that we're doing is going to hurt.
District leaders are calling on Oregon lawmakers to tap the state's Education Stability Fund, which currently sits at over $1 billion, to help lessen the blow.
We're sitting down with each and every one of them to talk through the budget at a very, very detailed level so that they understand what we are facing.
A district parent we spoke with also urging state lawmakers to send a funding lifeline.
This is the emergency. We need to access that fund so that our kids are not facing this huge decline next year and the following year.
Now that conversation between district leaders and state lawmakers is ongoing. Dr. Armstrong saying the district is still looking at things like consolidating or closing some schools across the district, and they will continue to assess staffing levels going forward. Back to you.
John Adams reporting outside district offices. Thank you, John.
Well, it is election season, which means ballots for the Oregon primary are now in the mail. They include partisan races like the GOP nomination for governor and also ballot measures, including Measure 120. Voters statewide set to decide on whether to increase taxes, including the gas tax, in order to fund transportation. Multnomah County elections officials say everyone should have their ballots by May 7th. If you don't, contact their office or your county office. If you plan to mail it back, keep in mind this.
The thing that we are cautioning folks is due to some changes with the post office, both postmarking as well as regional transportation changes in the post office. We're encouraging folks to mail their ballot about 5 days before the election.
Okay, 5 days early. You can, of course, also put your ballots in an official county drop box. Primary day, Tuesday, May 19th. And this afternoon, I had a chance to moderate a debate for the top job in Washington County. That is the nonpartisan position of county chair. 2 of the 3 candidates, both current county commissioners, were on hand at the forum in Tualatin, organized by the West Side Economic Alliance. Over an hour, we covered everything from taxes to data centers to President Trump's policies and where they stand on the gas tax that we mentioned on the statewide ballot. After the forum, I asked both candidates about their top priority if elected.
Yes, cutting red tape for small businesses so that they can thrive, addressing the housing and utility costs. You know, the affordability crisis is real.
My top priority is the economic resiliency of Washington County and how that affects the affordability that our residents face.
Pam Treese there also focusing on her leadership experience as a commissioner since 2018 with Phi, who was first elected in 2020, touching on accessibility and accountability.